it's Maya with Health Talks, brought to you by Let's Move TCI. On this episode today, we have Dr. Anya Malcolm-Gibbs. Before I ask you to talk a bit about yourself, I would like to congratulate you on your new appointment. Dr. Malcolm-Gibbs is the new director of the Special Education Needs Unit.
Thank you. Well, I am the director, but also beyond that, I am a mom, I am a wife, and I am a clinical psychologist by trade.
Okay.
And I'm right here from the beautiful Turks and Caicos Islands, and I'm happy to be here with you today.
Okay, thank you for being here. So on this episode, we're going to be talking about exercise and sleep and mental health. So in a time where we're seeing more people with depression and anxiety, what are ways that exercise can help alleviate the symptoms that come with those?
Well, traditionally, we all think of exercise as something that helps with our physical health, right? And I'm glad that this topic is being brought up because it does have extreme positive benefits on our mental health. When you think of mental health, you think of our brain. And when we say exercise helps with mental health or to alleviate those feelings of depression and anxiety, so when it comes to our brain, what it does, two major things. So the first one being it promotes the release of endorphins. And these are those feel-good hormones. And what they do is they promote positive feelings, right? So it kind of works against those depressions, those depressive feelings and anxiety. And another thing it does is it enhances the balance of neurotransmitters. There are two major neurotransmitters that have to do with a lot of mental health problems, and these are dopamine and serotonin. When research is conducted and they looked into the brain and they measured these neurotransmitter levels, you'll find that, for example, in depression, you find a low level of serotonin. So then now what exercise does is enhances this balance. And when serotonin is balanced and dopamine is balanced, for example, you have a regulation of your mood, you feel better, you have low levels of depression or sadness, for example, and low levels of anxiety. So that's what it does to our mental health, essentially. Yeah.
So what role does exercise play in sleep? Are there any benefits?
Yes, there is. And there is a bi-directional relationship there. So the better your quality of sleep, the better it is for your mental health. Because of course, if I'm sleeping, I can be able to function. I can be able to face the day and whatever stresses come upon that day. I had that sufficient sleep to prepare me for that day. And now it's vice versa. If I have poor mental health, of course my sleep will be affected. I won't be able to go to sleep, or I'll probably wake up and can't go back to sleep. And that's where you have those supplements like melatonin and whatever else we have to take to help us to sleep. So yes, there's that bi-directional relationship.
How much sleep and exercise should we be aiming for to help maintain good mental health?
So for optimal mental health, or to be able to function, you need about 7 to 9 hours of sleep per night. And that's what research has said as well. When it comes to exercise, you need about 30 minutes per day or at least 150 minutes per week, right? And I'm talking about those endorphins again, those neurotransmitters again. You need that exercise to get that flowing, and then for sleep, for you to be able to function every day and deal with those stresses that come. That amount of sleep is sufficient.
That's so important to hear. I feel like we live in a time where we almost brag about the lack of sleep we're getting, because you're like, lack of sleep, people equate that with productivity. It's like, wow, I only got 4 hours sleep. People are like, whoa, you only got 4? I only got 1. Because they think it's more productive and in turn more successful. And I think that leads up into this question of, are there any specific exercises or physical activity that can help with mental health and sleep?
I do believe, and of course I always mention research because this is what we have to go off of. When it comes to walking, cycling, jogging, those are effective exercises that help with our mental health and, of course, sleep. And then we can't forget those more calming exercises like yoga, Tai Chi, meditation, those breathing techniques. Those are still exercises. And those are the ones that help with our mental health and to decrease those sort of feelings of sadness, anxiety, and so on.
What advice do you have for the members of our community who are feeling stressed, they're battling lack of sleep, they're feeling overwhelmed? What are some things they could do at home to start feeling more balanced?
Okay. like to say maybe about 3 things, and that's ritual, routine, and of course, exercise. So when it comes to a routine, let's take that one first. It's good to have a routine in place. Have a set time that when you wake up, a set time for when you go to sleep, and try to maintain that every day. It also extends to your work and your daily activities. You have a certain time you go to work, certain time you come home, certain time maybe after work you do something to calm yourself or to release all the stress of work. But have a good routine in place that you follow every day. There's nothing wrong with routine, okay? There's nothing wrong with doing the same thing over and over every day. It's good for balance.
Yeah.
When it comes to a ritual, especially as it pertains to sleep, you need to set up the environment that is conducive to getting sleep, right? That means not doing so much stimulating activities at night, meaning our cell phones, our iPads, our televisions. Cutting them off at a certain time, begin to wind down. You can do some activity, it can be reading. Maybe it can be a relaxation technique. It's in preparation for you to go to sleep. So that's signaling to your brain now, I'm about to go to sleep. I'm starting to, declutter. I'm starting to now wind down and not do those stimulating activities that I just spoke about. And finally, exercise. That's why we're here today, right? Getting some form of exercise in every day. For me, I exercise every morning for about 30 minutes, and that's my goal. When I get that in, I feel better. And I know that it's working on the inside, not just the outside, right? And then it's good to do it before bed as well. Not rigorous exercise, of course, but something that allows you, because we talk about that calming effect, something that allows you to relax and prepare to sleep.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you for all of that great advice and knowledge. It's something that not even just some members of our community, but every single person, everyone needs to hear this, that exercise really can play a part and role in our sleep and in our mental health. And when we're not feeling good on the inside, we're not going to feel good on the outside, and vice versa.
Yeah.
So for that episode today, I would like to thank Dr. Malcolm-Gibbs for being here, for sharing all of that amazing insight.